Welcome back, guys. So here we go. We're going to get started on the KTM build today. Hopefully we're going to get this clutch cover put back on. We're going to get our fuel tank mounted and hopefully try to start this bike up. So first, check it out. This is the nasty fuel I just took out the tank, and look at how dark it is, man. This look like a black swamp. Anyway, last video you seen, we repaired this clutch case. It was totally pitted out, and we did a nice epoxy patch job. This gasket is really still on the one side. I only have one area that was raised, so I'm going to use a little Permatex on that. And I think we're going to be able to reuse this gasket. However, next we will be punching in our water pump shaft, and I'll have to cut and make a little gasket up for the water pump. It's a nice easy one to make up though, so that should be no problem. All right, we got our water pump shaft all cleaned up. Threw some grease in there and punched it through. Next, we're going to throw on our snap ring and put our lock screw in place. Now, I thought I was going to remove the bearing, but I never did, so I really never had to remove this. Throw a little bit of blue on there. All right, so here we go, moment of truth now. Got our water pump in. And it's rotating in there. We don't seem to have no issues. All right, so next we're gonna go ahead and throw our bolt on for the water pump. Put a little bit of blue on there. All right, there we go, back in action. So next we're gonna go ahead and start tracing out a gasket. You see they still kind of have the same hump, so I just used that to round that out and finish that out. All right, so you can see I kind of saved the old gasket to help me out and give me like an inner tracking. All right, so we got our gasket all traced out. Now before we go and cut this thing, we're gonna go ahead and punch our holes. If something's gonna go wrong, it's probably gonna be going wrong in punching out our holes as opposed to cutting it. That's the easy part. Anyway, we got this nice hole punch here. If you guys don't have one of these, I strongly suggest you get one. So first, before we go live, I'm going to do a couple test sections and see what it looks like. So you can see that's going to be how big our hole is. Let's see if we like that or not. Hey, that's right on the money. Right on the money. I got one other size I might punch one just to heck, just to see what that one looks like. So you can see that one's a slight bit smaller. It's a little tight, so if we're off, we're not gonna have no room for play. I think we're gonna go with the first one. We're gonna go with a little bit bigger size. All right, we're going with the little bit larger diameter punch. If we mess up, we got plenty more where this came from. Now we can test and see our holes are lining up pretty decent. Let's go ahead and cut the rest of this gasket out. All right, we're back. Water pump take 2. We elongated this one hole. We were a little bit off. I did have to go through and clean these threads up a little bit. So now we should go on nice and easy. Let's see. Let's see if that did the trick. All right, so there it is. We finally got our cover on. Our water pump is feeling nice and free. Everything feels good in there. So that was, I believe, our biggest issue on this bike, but who knows? Let's go ahead and try to find some more things wrong with it. I'll go ahead and throw this cover on our clutch side and get some oil in this bike. All right, so I just went around this case with Permatex. So this thing's gonna seal up, should seal up fine. However, one thing that I didn't realize was I'm gonna have to line this shaft up. So I'm gonna do my best by trying to do it by eye, but we might have to probably gonna have to take this water pump cover off so we can rotate the pump and align that groove with the groove on the end of this shaft here. But let's go, we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's gonna be a pain in the ass. All right, we're gonna have to pop this cover off. All right, so we can feel that slide into place there. All right, we got all of our bolts in. I'm going to touch the rest of them up by hand. Now some guys doing this, they probably look at every little torque spec, every little whatever. If you've been doing this stuff long enough, believe me, if you don't got a built-in torque wrench in here by now, well, then maybe look at the book. All right, we'll go through one more time. Make sure I didn't forget any. Oh, we totally forgot a bolt in here. Huh. All right, we seem to be missing a bolt. I'm gonna have to double check and see what's going on here with this. Maybe I dropped it on the ground or something. All right, so we're back after searching and searching and searching. I was about to just give up and go to the hardware store the next day. But then I remembered a couple days ago, I found one on the ground and thought it went with the Kickstarter. So as you could tell, this bolt would have been way too long for the Kickstarter. And look at it, guys, you can just tell it's way too clean. So I accidentally did that. That bolt will go there. And this ugly thing here is our Kickstarter bolt. So that was my mistake, I misplaced that. All right, that's in. All right, clutch covers on, water pumps on. Let's go ahead and get our Kickstarter and shifter on. All right, guys, so we got our clutch cover on. We got our water pump cover all on. We got our hoses ran, everything like that. I did get a couple of new hose clamps. I have to trim them up. You can see they were a little bit long. But now we got this bike all ready. I did just put water in it for now. So next while we got a little bit of daylight left, I'm gonna real quick pop that fuel tank on and let's see if we can hear this bike fire up. All right, we got our tank on and a fuel line installed. Next, I'm gonna throw our spark plug in, but first I'm gonna take a little shot of fuel, give it an old school priming.
What are you, a moonshiner mechanic?
Oh man, what? I can't even think of the moonshiners people's name anymore.
Oh. Damn, me neither.
I learned this from Tickle. Oh shit! Did I get anything in there? Oh yeah, we can see some fuel in there.
That's enough to drown your motor to death.
It's gonna be a big explosion.
Oh shit! Oh
yeah. We got a little shot of gas in there. That's all right. Don't worry. The KTM can take it.
That's gonna blow that cylinder right to place.
Man, that's how you get an extra 20 horsepower out of there. Don't tell nobody about that secret. All right, here we go. We got our spark plug tight. And with the flip of the switch, oh, there we go. All right, so we got fuel going into our carburetor now. That should be filling up nice. We got it primed, a little bit of fuel with a little hot start. We're gonna push this bad boy out and see what happens. Oh man, I'm so used to starting the CR, it's on the other side. Got the choke up. And a fair warning to everyone, at the end of this video, there's not much editing. I wanted to keep it a live experience here as you see me kick this bike up for the first time. So real quick in the comments, let me know, how many kicks do you think it takes to get the KTM started? I'll give you a clue, it's definitely less than the 500. Anyway, you'll see this is gonna be the first experience of this bike running, the first time putting it in gear, letting loose on the clutch, and seeing how the brakes react. Bike running 32 to 1, so really that's pretty rich for this bike. You can see there's definitely a lot of smoke coming out, but right off the bat, it feels pretty good, guys. It feels like a pretty healthy motor. We'll take it around one more time here. We got the no seat little dragster stance. All right, so here we go, guys. We got the KTM fired up. I'm going to real quick throw this thing on. As you can see, we still got our dragster seat set up and no number plates, no nothing like that. Remember, I do not have no back brakes. I kept on reaching for that.